Happy birthday, Motor. I'm gonna do my whole presser like this, guys.
Talk to you about your relationship with Stefon Diggs. I've noticed a few times, at least while we're able to watch, that you guys will maybe run some routes and maybe you both weren't completely happy with timing or something, and you'd run it again. How has that relationship and chemistry evolved to where you guys are really honing in on things like that?
I mean, it's been great having a guy like Steph. A guy that just wants to be great. He's gonna push everybody around him to be better, and we're just trying to get on the same page. We missed a lot of reps during OTAs, and we know that, so we're just trying to fast track everything, trying to get as many reps as we can. I'm never gonna be the guy that's gonna yell at guys for going full speed or not going full speed or whatever the case may be, but he wants to go full speed every single rep, and I think that's how you get better. That's when Cole and John came here last year, that's when I noticed, like, when guys go full speed and that timing becomes very familiar with one another, that's when you have good results. So I'm just happy that we got guys on this team that are willing to go out there and practice hard.
How unique is that from a wide receiver, or have you ever had a relationship with a receiver like that to where he is so driven into being precise at all times?
Yeah, I mean, I think John and Cole did the same thing last year. Just as far as, I got more time with John last year, so it was kind of a more deliberate deal. But when Cole came back last year, it was kind of the same thing. He was kind of dealing with a little injury during training camp or OTAs, and came into training camp, and we were just trying to get as many reps as possible, staying after practice, getting some throws in, and that's what you see with Steph. And I think that's just kind of a common denominator for good wideouts in this league, that they're willing to go and put in the extra work.
Thanks.
Hi, Josh. So now that you're in regular season mode, and assuming that means more specific preparation for your opener against the Jets and less on the general stuff, and specifically the honing and all that to your game that you've been trying to do as best you can in this unusual off-season, preseason. Where would you say your game is as we close that sort of general preparation and get into specific prep?
Yeah, I think I'm in a good spot. I think the way I'm throwing the ball, my I wouldn't say knowledge, but my familiarity with my throwing motion right now, it's become really good. I feel like I know what happens when I miss, or when a ball comes out of my hand funky. So I think, as far as mechanic goes, I think I'm in a good spot. Obviously, there's still a lot to work on, and it's going to be a weekly thing, day in and day out, just trying to perfect it. And nobody's ever going to be perfect, and I understand that. But to try to reach perfection is what you have to think about.
And one follow-up, you've talked about the certain things that you want to do and where you want to hone in on the completion percentage, long ball accuracy, all those things. Can you address? Is it possible to address enough of that to satisfy you while, again, executing the specific game plan plays you have for the Jets, if that's really what's happening right now?
Yeah, I personally, like I said, I'm a very harsh critic of myself, and very few times will I ever be satisfied with how I perform. I feel like there's always things I can do better, and always things I can work on, even within games. Throws here or there that I wish I could, have back, but got to be able to roll with those. And like you said, with game plan with the Jets, just making sure that we're on top of our P's and Q's, and we understand what they're going to try to throw at us. And we need to get into that mindset of, okay, if they do this, what are our answers? How can we do this? And without kind of preseason and an early look at them, it's going to be tough, and there's going to be a lot of in-game adjustments, but I think they're thinking the same thing.
Thanks, Josh.
Hey, Josh, Sal Capaccio here. Great to see you, man.
You see, Sal.
So one of the coolest things for us has been maybe standing in the end zone and watching the battles going on between wide receivers and DBs. You guys are really getting after it, and it just seems so much more competitive. Not to disparage anybody from the last couple of years, but the talent level on both sides of the ball is obviously really high. We've asked John Brown about it and Tre'Davious White. Can you kind of take us into that a little bit, the competition, what's going on there, just, what you see on the field from both, your receivers and the DBs?
Yeah, I'm going to start off with saying I've never been around a group of men that are as competitive as this group that we have here, and I think it's kudos to our front office for bringing in the guys that really want to work, the guys that want to win, no matter what it takes. And yeah, like you said, the talent level on both sides is fairly high, and we just got to keep, pushing each other, trying to be better. And I think the greatest thing that we get to do is go against our defense, which has been a top defense in the league for the last, few years. And ever since Coach McDermott got here. And, it's a blessing to be able to go against them every day.
And then quick on Gabriel Davis, we've seen a lot of the highlights. He's kind of, really shown up on a daily basis. What have you seen from the rookie personally?
There's an eagerness to learn. There's an eagerness to be great. And, he knows where he was drafted, and I think he uses that as motivation, to become great. There's still a lot of things that he needs to do, a lot of things he needs to grow and learn from. And that experience in the NFL is only going to make him better. But he's a guy that comes in each and every day, and he doesn't talk a lot, but he listens. He wants to know, how Cole's doing a release on a guy playing inside from the slot. He wants to know how John's attacking a guy and how he's post-stemming or whatever the case may be. And he's learning from guys like Stefon. He's in a really good position, being able to learn from three great receivers in this league that have been around for quite some time. So he's in a good spot, but he's taking advantage of it.
Thanks, Josh.
Joshy Boucher, Mookie Harkins, Well for Sports 1080, man. How's it going today?
I'm good, Mook. Good to see you.
Hey, I noticed that you have, read the Mamba mentality. So I just wanted to know, what is your take on it after reading it, and how will that mentality, how will you use that mentality this year?
Well, I think the main takeaway is, rest in peace to Kobe, but his mentality was relentless. He had that killer mindset of, I'm going to go get it. I'm not going to wait and sit back. I'm going to go find a way to go get it. And there's a cool, that Muse documentary on him is something I watch over and over and over again. Him dealing with injury and him waking up at 3:00 in the morning and being the first one in the gym and being the last one to leave, and other guys on different teams talking about, I was out there and Kobe he was out there before me, and he was not going to leave till I left the court. He was going to be out there before me and be on the court after I left. And that type of mentality, that mindset is what made him so great. And I think that his mindset has inspired so many around the world. And that's why he was, one of my favorite athletes growing up. Just the way that he attacked each and every day. He wanted it more than other people. And you can tell by the expressions that he made on the court, how hard he played. When he made a mistake on offense, he was the first one down on defense trying to make a play to get the ball back. And again, I miss having him out there and being able to talk and drop knowledge on everybody. But yeah, he's that the mindset that he has is just something that might not ever be matched.
Speaking of that mindset, it's been 3 years in a row you've been going against one of the top defenses in the NFL. So how has Leslie Frazier's defense prepared you this season compared to the last two at training camp?
I feel like I'm more in control of the offense this year. I understand. At least I have more answers to problems that we're going to be faced with. And I think that the familiarity with the offense and being, having such a great relationship with Coach Dorsey and Coach Dable, and just knowing the knowledge that I know now, it's been, I wouldn't say it's been easier, but it's been more comfortable. I see things, I feel like, a little more. And it's not like we're trying to game plan for our defense, but I can set protections a certain way and know that I'm good on this side. If they bring this guy, I know where my answer is. And that's only going to continue to get better with more defenses that I see. But going up against a Coach McDermott and Coach Frazier defense is no small task. And Coach Frazier got the opportunity to talk to the team the other day, and I know I've been around him, but like my eyes were completely open to who he is as a man and as a person. And he's one of the great coaches in the NFL, and we're lucky to have him here in Buffalo.
Absolutely, man. Hey, 1 week till game day, man. Can't wait to see it. Tell my guy Motor I said happy birthday, man.
Will do.
Hey, Josh, Matt Perino here. Sean said this week that he loves John Brown because his unselfishness, kind of permeates in the locker room. Guys feed off of that. I feel like if you could envision a number one to have on your roster when you add another number one like Stefon Diggs, John Brown is like the prototypical guy. How important is that attitude and just having a guy like that, not only a vet, but a guy that, kind of sets the standard for what you guys want to be as people?
Yeah, and a lot of people talk about John's unselfishness and that he's okay with not getting the ball, but make no mistake, he wants the ball in his hands. He's a competitor. He wants to win. He brings it every single day in practice. And I think that's what guys really love about him, that if he doesn't get the ball, he's still going to go down there. He's going to make a block to try to free somebody up. But he's running each route as hard as he can. He's doing things for the team. He's blocking downfield. He just does all the right things. On top of that, he's a great guy to be around. Big movie critic like myself. So, I mean, we get along extremely well. I love a lot of guys on this team. I love every guy on this team. But John holds a special place with me just because, when he came in here last year, him and Cole, but when John came here last year in OTAs, I'd never seen a guy work as hard as he did. And to have a receiver that was willing to work after practice and go get balls and do things like that, it just opened my eyes that, this guy wants to be great. But yeah, he's a great fit in our locker room. The guys love him, and there's really no reason not to love him.
Thanks, Josh.
Hey, Josh, John Morrow, AP. How you doing?
Good to see you.
Good seeing you. Just a year ago, you were preparing to be the season opening starter against the Jets, and now you're entering the second year as a season opening starter against the Jets as well. Not sure what you can recall from that game, or if you care to recall, except of how it finished, but how far have you come, do you feel, even despite having limited practice time going into this season's opener, as opposed to maybe a year ago?
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't call it night and day, but I do feel really good about myself going into the game, and I'm super excited that we're finally getting back to football. But one thing I recalled about last year is we started off the game, really well as far as moving the ball goes, and we had a fumble, they picked it up, and then the next play, a pick six, and just something that we have to control a little better. And if we can get to a fast start and put points up early, I think that always puts opposing teams in a bind. And there's some crazy stat out there. It's 70+% of teams that score first end up winning the football game. So obviously getting to a fast start is what we're going to be looking forward to. And I'm sure they're going to be looking forward to the same thing. But we got to go out there. We got to control what we can control and try to execute the best that we can.
And just to follow up, do you feel in some ways better prepared? Last year it might have been a little bit new to you, but antsiness and all that stuff. But do you feel better prepared, more comfortable going into this game as opposed to a year ago?
100%. And I think it's because of the familiarity with everybody on the team, our O-line, being in the same system for the third year now, having that camaraderie with John and Cole and Dawson and Motor, and now bringing in a couple of guys that can do some really good things for us, and Steph and some of these rookies, Zach and Gabe. So, I feel very confident in our team, but at the end of the day, it's whoever comes out on Sunday and plays football the right way and plays together. So we've got 8 or 9, 10 days, whatever the case may be, to get ready for that game. So we're going to do everything in our power to be ready for it.
Thanks so much.
Thank you.
Hey, Josh, Heather Prusek here. Good to see you. I wanted to ask you, talk about the familiarity with the offensive line. Obviously, last year coming in, it was, totally different guys trying to revamp this O-line. Now you guys have all 5 starters back, with the exception of John. Now that he's out, obviously they're still trying to figure out that right side. Dable and McDermott have said they're rotating guys in and out, mixing and matching different people. From your perspective, though, how has that kind of been working out, and what have you seen from different guys who have been rotating in and out there?
Well, I'm very confident in the guys that we've been putting out there. I got no doubt in my mind, whatever grouping we put out there is going to go out there and perform to the best of their abilities. They've been, busting their tails. Coach Bobby's got them working extremely hard. They know their calls. They've been working on their sets, and the communication has been great. And I think it is because guys like Mitch and Q and Doc on the left side have been communicating very well to the guys on the right side. So there is familiarity though with Cody and Ty, and if we bring in somebody else, I think that they've been working hard, and I don't think that it's going to be too big of a problem. I think it's going to be a pretty seamless transition with these guys, and I'm just proud of how they've been working this offseason.
How has your chemistry with Mitch evolved, in going into this season?
I think it's been fantastic. I think last year I wouldn't say I was scared to make remakes and to the line know which way they were going. But now I feel like I'm in complete charge of our protections, and Mitch is, doing the right things, making the right calls, and he's okay if I go and override him. And that's the part he's okay with it. He's not trying to be Mr. Guru out there. He's going to stick to his base rules and block the right guys. And, if I need to change things, I'm going to change them. But he's been working his tail off. And, when he's pulling around the corner there, he's a force to be reckoned with. And he's been, great for our team. And, I expect some big things from him this year too.
Thanks, Josh.
Hey, Josh, Sal Majorana over in Rochester. Good to see you.
Good to see you too.
I'm going to ask you a question that you have no control over, but I just want you to speak to it. How difficult is the decision-making going to be for this coaching staff and this front office come Saturday? With the talent you have on this team, can you imagine how difficult it's going to be to cut this roster?
For sure. And, I don't get paid to make decisions or, I get paid to play quarterback here and try to get the ball to the right guys. But like you said, Friday and Saturday, it's in my opinion, the saddest day in all of sports. A lot of guys are, losing part of them in the game of football. And it's such a sad day because, like you said, there's guys that I know can play on other teams that might not have that opportunity, especially this year with all the COVID restrictions and whatnot. So, yeah, they've got a bunch of tough decisions upstairs, but, at the end of the day, it's a business and we understand that as players, and we got to, put our best foot forward and look forward to next Sunday.